Good morning and welcome to the IPM online research seminars. Today we will talk about a project that we're doing here in the group. So it's me, Juliana Artali, I'm an assistant professor in the group. And together with Casper Edwards, I've been working on a project where we have worked together with a group of organizations to co-develop a process for innovation. So basically what we have done is we've worked with the Danish industry and a consultant with Robert Cooper, who is an American researcher who has worked with the stage-gate model for many, many years. And we worked together with SMEs and experts to try to co-develop a model that combines agile innovation with stage-gate innovation so that they can have a better new product development process. So what we will talk about today is how we carried out this project and how we can see it as a new research method that benefits both the theoretical aspects, so that is scientifically relevant and that contributes to theory, but at the same time has a concrete impact on practice. So what we've done is we have combined the academic with the industry aspects to work together and get a mutual benefit. Basically, the background for this is a theory on collaborative research between researchers and industry. And we have worked with the model that's called, or with the framework that's called participatory innovation, where researchers work together with companies to involve end users in new product development processes to make sure that they can get the best out of the innovation process and they can develop products together that are as fitting to the user needs as possible. We have used this model to analyze the project that we've carried out by following this the framework, so the 5 steps of the framework, which are field study, sense making, co-ideation, business modeling, and co-design. To analyze what we have done. And we have also considered the fact that throughout this participatory innovation processes, you always have emergent conversation and events that take place and that are important to be taken into consideration because they have an impact on the outcome of the process. The peculiarity of our research is that usually this process is used as a design research approach. So you go in as a researcher, you propose this process to the companies, and then they implement it together with the end users to develop the new product. And we have done it the other way around. So we have worked together with the companies to co-develop this new process, to develop this new process for innovation. And then we have used this framework to analyze what we have done and see have we followed the right steps and can we recommend this as a collaborative research method for future researchers who want to have an impact on both theory and practice. So the research question that we have focused on is how does a group of innovation organizations and researchers co-innovate, so work together through an innovation process to develop an agile stage-gate approach that is suitable for manufacturing enterprises in Denmark. So we have followed this project since its very beginning, and we have been involved in all of the steps of co-development, and we have worked closely together with these organizations to adapt the Agile stage-gate method that was developed in the US for large manufacturing company to a Danish setting and to small and medium enterprises. And the peculiarity of small and medium enterprises is that they don't have the same resources, the same time and the same context as big manufacturing enterprises. So working with an Agile stage-gate innovation method is different than for large companies. The way we have done this is that we have had 2 steps. In the first step of the project, we have worked together with the Danish industry, with the consultants, and with a group of experts to adapt the model from what was developed in in the US for large manufacturing company to SMEs. And then once we have had a first version of the model, we have selected 3 SMEs that could work together with us to test the model and see how they could personalize it or how they could make it work, and to see if we could improve it in any way. And here you can see one of the meetings in which we were presenting the framework or the new process to the SMEs, and how and you can see one of the participants trying to present how they would approach it or how they would work with the Agile stage gate methodology in their own project. As researchers, what we have done is that we have been involved in all of the phases very closely, and we have taken a double role. We have taken a role as co-innovators, in which we basically we were completely embedded in the co-innovation process, but we have also taken a role as researchers, so we have observed the events from the outside and collected data to be able to evaluate what is going on here and how are we contributing to this process. At the end, we have carried out workshops with the participants where we have asked them to evaluate or to tell us what has happened since the beginning of the process. And we have done this in each SMEs. You can see one of the meetings here. And we have followed a method that's called EMA, Event Modifier Assessment Method, based on which we have asked 3 sets of questions from very general to more specific to the SMEs participants. And then we have used that to map which events of the project that we carried out with them had an impact on the way they work with the Agile stage gate method, or they work with their innovation process, and which things were contextual. And if you're interested in hearing more about the method, you can actually go on our YouTube channel and look at the presentation by Casper Edwards, where he explains the methods and how it works exactly. Here you can see an example of what we did. We asked each single participant to write on Post-its, so they couldn't talk to each other about what their impression of the different events were. We have mapped them on 3 different layers, and then we've had a discussion with them all together, trying to figure out what had an impact on what and what were the causes of this impact that we have then quantified and taken conclusions from. So if we talk about the results of our study, is that when you have a process of co-development between researchers and industry, you can follow a participatory innovation framework to guide your collaboration. And the way we have done it is that we have divided this in 2 steps. And in the first step, we haven't involved the end users of the new process, so we haven't involved the SMEs, but we have worked together with experts and with other innovators such as the Dansk Industry and the consultants to prepare for the project, and then to build up a first draft or a first version of the model that we could then present to the SMEs. And we have followed the first 4 steps of the participatory innovation framework throughout this phase. And here what we could see was that because of the way we embedded ourselves into the project, we could have very open and honest interaction between the participant and with the other participant. And we could develop the 20-page manual to present to the SMEs with the first version in a way that did not involve us as researchers as such. So we were not asked for our opinion as researchers, but we were actually completely embedded in the project. And it was a very nice way of working together, almost as consultants more than as researchers. And here you can see the pictures of what came out of the first version, or the first draft of what came out of the first draft of the first step. Then in the second step, we actually worked together with the SMEs to have them, to train them, prepare them, and have them use the model in practice to then test it and improve it. And what we could see in this phase is that there were a lot of emergent co-design interactions and conversation that came out. For instance, we had one of the participants from the consultants work together on some of the activities that the SMEs should have carried out. And that was not originally part of the project, but they had a lack of resources, so she was embedded in that process as well. So again, we could see that by having a very open co-development from the beginning, the different parties were so well integrated that they could work in a very good way throughout the process. And also one other thing that we could see that emerged, and that was not expected, was that we had a new unplanned project phase at the end when we met with the expert group to discuss the second version of the model, and they suggested that we take the project a step further and present it to an even larger group of SMEs and keep on developing, as this was such a good process, and all the participants were very happy about the results and the use of the model. So concretely, what we have done is that we have developed a new model for a new process for new product development that combines agile innovation with the stage gate model that can be used in SMEs within the Danish context. And the peculiarity of this is that it is standardized in a way that it can be taught, and it has some fixed elements that will always be recurrent every time you apply it, but it gives, instead of having very fixed roles, for example, or very fixed characteristics or things that you need to be doing, it gives the possibility to the SMEs to adapt to their own context because of the way we have defined the different variables after the second iteration of the process. So we didn't have this before when we started. We had the version for the large manufacturing company, but it looked different than this. And this we developed over time throughout these two steps of participatory innovation. So in conclusion, what we can say about using participatory innovation as a collaborative research method is that it is actually a good framework to use as an analytical model. So first to reflect on the methods and the interactions that have taken place throughout a collaborative research project, but also that it can be applied as a framework and as a method for new process development, as it allows to combine the planned interaction with the emergent meetings between and across the different participants. So it has the potential also to work as a prescriptive framework for new process development when you have a collaboration between industry and research. So we have worked on this. Now we're working on a paper for a journal publication. If you have any question or any comments, we are still working on the Agile Stage Gate project, and we are taking it further to this unexpected project phase that was suggested by the expert. So you're welcome to contact us. And before I close, I would like to remind that we have this online seminar every second month on the last Thursday of the month. The next time is going to be Easter, so we're going to skip the appointment in March, but we're going to meet again on the 31st of May with a presentation that's going to be announced soon. So please follow us on this YouTube channel or on our IPM website. And with this, thank you very much for the attention, and goodbye.